the ground.
Go on NASA's website, look at the pictures of the world, and read what it says underneath. It says images, not a photo. CGI composite. They never say photo.
And you can never verify it for
So you saying the
yourself.
world was flat?
Well, it's certainly not a
But
globe.
it's not a globe.
Well, where's the
Makes
edge?
more sense.
It's got to drop off somewhere then, right?
Why do you think it drops off? What if it just keeps going on?
Well,
And they just told us we live here, but what if it's a lot wider than they tell us? And they're hiding land.
right.
We don't claim to know the full dimensions.
Yeah.
Right.
Because we can't go past Antarctica.
Yeah, you're not allowed to travel below the 60th south parallel. The Antarctic Treaty forbids it.
Well, the Bible never said it was round. He just said God created it.
God created it. Never said anything about a sphere in the Bible.
No, I
It
agree.
says he sat upon the circle of the earth. Right?
We just got to know each other. We
Circle,
were camping
circle.
together.
No, it doesn't mean it's a ball.
Right.
How are you going to see all four corners of the world if it's a ball? You can't.
I see where you're coming from, but I don't know.
Do you want to?
We're just
Yeah.
giving you tools to do the research for
Yeah,
yourself.
okay.
We're not here to convince anybody.
Right. I'll read it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Earth is not a globe. Free information. 200 proofs. Earth is flat. 200 proofs.
Earth is flat.
Yes, sir.
Not
We can
round.
prove it. It's not. It is round. It's not a sphere. It's round like this.
Oh,
That's why when people circumnavigate, they have to always course correct to the north because they're traveling in this direction here. And no matter which way you go, you always have to course correct to the north when you travel.
Planes are routed through the north most of the time as
is
well.
it wrong, but not like a ball.
Not a ball,
Right.
round.
Yeah, I always had that problem thinking.
Just like it says in the Bible, it doesn't call it a ball. It said Isaiah 40:22, and God looked down upon the circle of the earth, not the sphere, not the ball.
Circumference.
Because with a ball, you have people like this hanging over
Yeah.
underneath.
That makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah. And then they show us this and they say, hey, look at,
because they say gravity. This is gravity.
but which gravity? They
That's what I'm
can't even, they don't even know what they're talking about with gravity. I say, you talking about Newtonian gravity or Einsteinian gravity? Which one? And they say, well, what's the difference? I said, well, one of them, you know, when Einsteinian gravity came around, they just disproved Newtonian gravity, and that's what you're talking about, mass attracts mass. That's not even the definition of gravity anymore. And they give us photos, supposedly, that look like this.
Yeah.
Copy, paste. It's the same cloud. Copy, paste, copy, paste.
Yeah, that's why people don't rightly divide anything. You know, didn't the scripture say that?
Who started NASA?
Rightly divide. They talk about
You know who
something.
started NASA? Walt Disney.
Really?
Yeah. You see, we're living in an age when they say knowledge shall increase. They look at one way, but you will get to know things so you're going to be no fool. You can go to your phone now and get everything, and people going to raise up to tell you things now that you just ain't going to swallow like a fool right now. So if you messed up, you messed up because you don't want to prove something, try it. Somebody hand you something, you're so ticked up and say, I don't want to hear this. You know everything. I'm going to check on this.
And when you look at the symbol for NASA, look at the actual symbol. What is that right there? The tongue of a serpent, the deceiver. They're telling you right there. They're not telling you the
They're not telling
truth,
you
but
the
no
truth.
one looks.
Yeah.
It's just open your eyes and you can see.
Yeah.
These are supposed photos from different space agencies.
Yeah.
Africa is a different size and shape in every photo and a different color. They need to get together, come up with some real drawings, you know? The only two photos that they actually claim are real is the Earth taken from the moon. But when we look up in the sky tonight, we see the moon, we can see how big the moon is in our sky.
Yeah.
And it's 238,500 miles away on average. But if we go to the moon and we look at the Earth in the moon sky, the Earth is over 8 times as large. It's bigger than the moon. But in that photo, the Earth is the same size as the moon is in our sky. So if that photo was taken from the moon, the Earth should be 8 times larger. It's the same distance.
Right. Yeah, right. Same distance, backward or forward, the same distance.
And it's just,
I think we have some problem.
and every military in the world uses the symbol for the flat Earth. This is the United Nations symbol.
So what's your argument?
There's no argument. I know the Earth's flat.
No, what's your theory?
The Earth is not a globe.
It's not a ball.
It's not a ball.
It's a circle, but
And I have over 200 proofs. And we're offering $200,000 to anyone that can prove that the Earth is a globe. And the prize is still sitting there because no one can prove it.
I'm
I'm not that smart.
So let's say you put water in a cup. The surface is level, right? So when I pour it in a bathtub, still level. A sea, a lake, a pond, it's called sea level. If the Earth is 70% water, where's it bending?
Where's it what?
Where's it bending? If the Earth was a ball, the water would have to bend around it. But we can go out and we
Not
can.
necessarily.
It would have to bend,
Because the gravitational force holds it down.
but it could not be level. If I
Yes, it
find a
could.
flat spot on a sphere, it can no longer be a sphere. We can see over 400 miles.
It's relative to where you're standing.
At 1 foot height of the observer, we can see 400 miles. The definition,
Not at 1 foot.
the curvature,
Because right now you can see less than 20 miles. If
right.
All this was going.
We can go to different spots on the plane and we can take photos 400 miles away. The formula for a curve for the Earth is 8 inches per mile squared. We would not be able to do that. I went down to Lake Marion and I set up a camera 3 feet off the surface of the water. 11 miles away, I put a post up with a mirror on it 3 feet off the surface of the water. I went back to the camera and I zoomed in and I can see the mirror. If the Earth was a ball, it would be hidden by 7 feet of curvature because the Earth curves at 8 inches per mile squared. It is impossible.
Wait, what did you say? The Earth curves at what?
8 inches per mile squared.
How do you prove that?
That's the formula. They say that circumference of the Earth is 24,000 miles.
Right?
So by definition, it would have to curve at 8 inches per mile squared. It's math. That is the formula for curvature on the Earth. These are the things they don't teach you in
If it
school.
was a sphere.
If it was a sphere, but we know it's not a sphere.
With the water thing, he was saying like if you took a 10-mile, say,
Well, I
imagine-
understand it. I understand it. But he's using the theory that it's a sphere to prove that it's not, which is interesting.
you have to find inconsistencies to disprove something.
So no matter how far we look, we see zero curvature. So if there is no
That's
curve,
not true. Because if you would take a drone and send them up in the air with a camera, you could actually see the curve.
so that's what you think. But I did that, exactly what you're just talking about. And I have a video of it of 120,000 feet up, and there is no curve.
That's not an accurate video.
It is.
I mean,
This is exactly what it looks
say
like.
it is.
No,
but
I know from personal
disagree.
experience because we did this. We did this. We're not relying on
How did you
NASA
send that up?
with a balloon. Using a GoPro without a fisheye lens, because the videos they use use a
Where'd you get
fisheye
the
lens.
balloon from?
I don't know where you purchased the balloon from, but
Because that's a balloon that has to be.
it's a high altitude
That's
balloon.
right. That's right.
Yeah,
And not
but,
everybody has access to high altitude.
but we can look at the photos that they're presenting us with, the photos that you say you're seeing, and you copy paste. It copy paste. There's nothing here is real.
Well, it's hard to base a theory on someone else's information.
But I'm basing it
It's
on my
good
own
that you
information.
have to have your own. I'm just asking you how you
How
got
high
there.
up do you think you
I'm
have to
not
be to see
disagreeing.
curvature?
I'm sorry?
How high up do you think you have to be to see curvature?
I'm not that good.
You're,
at
you're saying you
science,
can do it with a drone, but I've done it with a plane. I'm a former pilot.
And you never saw
I never
curves.
saw curve. And none of my flight plans that I was ever given took into account for curvature. That's why whenever you're flying, like I flew from North America to Asia.
So if I was to shoot a projectile straight across with enough velocity, would it curve? Would it go straight?
The object always loses velocity, and that's why it starts to jet
Why
down.
does it lose velocity?
Because you have atmospheric density. You have a medium to travel through. Anything that's traveling through a medium, it loses velocity because of the friction.
Good luck.
All right. I'm not here to convince anybody of anything.
Well, I understand.
I'm just giving you the tools to do the research for yourself. And this website gives you the tools to do the
It's just
research.
interesting. I'll take it.
That's all I'm asking you to do is the research for yourself.
Everything's true until you prove it wrong.
Exactly. And I've proved this wrong.